Well, I am a very vivid dreamer. I dream every night and it is very realistic. And I wake up sometimes wondering, like, is that, like, did that actually happen? Did I actually go through that?
This is a video that you all have sent me several times, and it came up specifically in my live stream last night about a therapist on TikTok named Therapy by Gabby. You can see it up there. Who dreams about her therapy clients. And she wants to know, is this weird? Am I doing something wrong? Is this something other counselors experience? And so today I'm going to answer all those questions and hopefully get in touch with Therapy by Gabby to leave her assured of what these dreams actually mean. And so the question is, do other people experience this? And so as a counselor myself, someone who specializes in the treatment of complex trauma with hypnosis, somebody who specializes in interpreting dreams, this is very normal. I have this all the time with my clients, but we can't take it literally. And so we're going to help Gabby sort of sort through this and see what her mind is actually trying to say. So buckle up. It's going to be good.
So, let me tell you about some of my funny dreams that I have had about my therapy clients.
So let's start with this. In the beginning, she says that she's a very vivid dreamer. And there are some great research articles, peer-reviewed, published in psychology journals about individuals who dream more often and more vividly tend to be very introspective. And so if you think about a counselor, right, a therapist, somebody who's deeply in touch with emotions and often working in an introspective like realm or in a way that's very introspective, it's very normal for them to be vivid dreamers. That makes a lot of sense. We can see that with the research. But she goes on to say here, you know, none of it's inappropriate. And I can see that she has some fears about sharing this. I can see the self-censorship going on. And I just want to take a moment to remind both you and Gabby that even inappropriate dreams are very normal. We can't take them literally because they don't have a literal interpretation. You see, when I'm speaking to you now, I'm speaking very literally, right? The words that I'm saying literally mean what I'm saying, but dreams speak in stories and symbols. And so if you think about sex in particular, that would be totally inappropriate with a client. But many of you send me DMs about, oh my gosh, Jesse, I had a dream about having sex with my ex again, or having sex with my boss or a coworker. What does all of that mean? Sex is about connection, deep, intimate connection. And that's really like the animal part of our brain thinking about that. Like evolutionarily, when we think about sex, it's like, I want to deeply connect with this person so that our offspring, our children, can have the best of them and the best of me. So we're attracted to that. In the dream, it means the same thing. I actually had someone just this morning send me a dream about having sex with a celebrity. And they're like, what does this mean? Well, celebrities very often symbolize being cared for, being noticed, being appreciated, having attention. And so for many people who dream about having sex with celebrities, it's like, I want to more deeply connect with that experience of being valued. I mean, when a celebrity wears a new brand or has a new bag or paints their nails a different color, it's front page tabloid news. And so that level of attention is often something I see that those individuals who dream about celebrities want. They want to be more appreciated and more noticed. And so they'll have dreams about sex with celebrities. So there's like a little taste of what that means.
Disclaimer, these are not inappropriate dreams. They are not weird dreams. They are just like random. I don't even know how my brain comes up with this, and my therapy clients happen to be there. So
There is no such thing as a weird dream. They all speak in metaphors and need to be understood from that context. That's where my work in hypnotherapy helps, because it speaks the same language. So don't worry, Gabby, you are A-okay. Even if you did, that would honestly be great information for your mind.
let's talk about it.
Okay.
I had a dream where I was just chilling in this random road, and one of my therapy clients drives up in like one of those big white vans and is like, get in, we're going on a road trip. And I got in the van and I went on a road trip with one of my therapy clients.
To me, this makes absolute sense. Look at the symbolism here. As a therapist, that is exactly what a counseling session is like. Someone will come into my office, sit down on my couch, and I'm loading up into their van. They are in the pilot seat. They are driving this vehicle of therapy down their road, down their life path. You know, you think of obvious symbolism like life is a highway, right? We're driving down the path of our life, and I hop on board just to help guide and maybe, play navigator in the front passenger seat to help them kind of know which directions to go and what to take. But that's very much what counseling is like. So this seems great, very on track with the type of work that Gabby does.
I remember thinking in the dream, like, therapists aren't supposed to do this. What are we doing? It was like that weird like dual awareness where like part of me was like really felt like the dream was real life, and then another part of me was like, we're dreaming, but like are we? And like what is going on here?
Here's something very interesting. So it sounds like what Gabby's describing is what we would call a lucid dream. And a lucid dream is when you become aware of a dream while you're dreaming. Like you realize, like, wait a minute, this is a dream. This isn't normal. That's a lucid dream. And people who are very emotionally connected tend to be really great lucid dreamers. They will actually teach individuals who are recovering from trauma, especially like PTSD, how to lucid dream. And it has some fantastic results in helping them overcome those PTSD symptoms because they can more actively engage with their emotional dysregulation and the stuff that they're going through. But I want to draw your attention to something else. Gabby has a lot of self-criticism here. And so if Gabby was sitting on my couch and we were talking about this for her in particular, I would ask about that criticism. Like, always wondered, am I doing the right thing? Am I overstepping boundaries? It seems like there's a lot of stuff for Gabby about self-censorship. Like, am I doing too much? Am I okay? Always kind of questioning what they're doing.
I don't know. Brains are weird. And I had another
Brains are weird.
dream where I was also in the car with a client. I don't know why we're in cars.
Because that's how counseling is. It's a great metaphor.
But I was in a car with a client, and I
Sure.
guess I was just like, I was getting it. I was doing karaoke, car
Get it, girl.
karaoke, and I was feeling myself. And my client looked at me and was like, you don't sing like you're in the car. You sing like you're going all out. I felt so offended in that moment. And
Oh, man. Yeah, Gabby, I think we're onto something here. Singing is very much like the heart and soul. Like, that is so much authentic self-expression. And then to feel like the client is criticizing you, maybe a representation of the same criticism that you're helping the client work through, but it's also mirroring the criticism perhaps that Gabby is feeling. Now, again, I've never met Gabby, right? I can't speak even for their page with whether I agree with all the things that they say. This is really the first interaction I've had with Gabby's content. But this theme of the self-criticism, the judgmental conscious brain comes up a lot. And to be honest, that really rings true with a lot of counselors and colleagues that I work with. Like, a lot of us get into therapy because we feel like we're too much for people. We are very deeply emotional. We're very connected and empathetic. And so people will tell us we're too much. We're too authentic. We're too expressive. And so that critical voice becomes internalized and we start to kind of stifle ourselves. And it's almost like I can see that here. Again, speculation, but if Gabby was in my office, I would want to talk more about that.
the most recent dream that I've had with a client.
Okay.
This like gives me like so much stress and anxiety when I think about it. I dreamt that I overslept and that I hopped on a virtual session with my client where I was
Classic.
like in bed, like not done up at all, like no hair, makeup done or anything, not wearing any like normal clothes, just in my pajamas. And I was laying in bed, like this is the pillow. I'm laying on the pillow. And they hop on the session and I'm just like, yeah, so how does that make you feel? In bed, doing a therapy session.
Classic. And I know that some of you watching this video right now have also had dreams where you've shown up at a place that you shouldn't have, either underclothed or completely naked. In fact, I was on the news with one of the anchors. I believe it was local anchor for Channel 6 here in Orlando, Florida. And he told me the same thing. He said that he will often have this reoccurring dream where he shows up as the anchor on the news, but he forgot to put on his shirt. Like, he's rushed, he's late, he's running behind. And so there's a couple of things there. Like, being rushed and running late is this feeling that I'm not going to be able to keep up. All the things that are going on in my life are happening so fast. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up. And then the clothing is all about self-expression. It's like, this is the way that I want you all to see me. This is my mask in some ways. And so metaphorically, we often mask when we present ourselves to other people. It's like a first date. You know, I don't want to dump all my gross baggage. I want to put on the best version of myself. But behind that is this fear that if the person sitting across from me saw the authentic version of myself, would it be too much? Would I be judged? Would I be criticized? If I didn't have these clothes to cover what's underneath, would they judge me for who I authentically am? And that's what those showing up naked dreams kind of mean. And so there's a real, like, apparent theme through these dreams for Gabby. I also think about how much stress counselors can be under. And there's a lot of good research to support that when we start to confuse dreams with waking life, like, did that really happen? Like, was that actually a thing that I experienced? It can show that we're not like compartmentalizing or dealing with our stress very well. There's a lot of good research to support that too. When we get good sleep and we're able to transition from work to personal time and then into sleep, it helps with some of those things. We don't get confused about what was in waking life and what was in dream life. And so it sounds like Gabby's a pretty classic, stressed, self-critical therapist here. And Gabby, I just got to say, you're in good company. Me too, my friend. And I wake up with these same kind of dreams. They're not weird. They're not wrong. They're just little messages from our mind saying, hey, Gabby, I see you. And I hope that you take good care of yourself. I hope that you know it's okay to express yourself, that you're worth it, and that you being authentically yourself is the best gift you could ever give a client. Let's see how she finishes this video.
That one stressed me out. So again, these are not real life situations. These are dreams that I've had when I have been asleep in my bed, trying to rest, trying not to work,
I know.
but somehow still having stress dreams, working in my mind.
Yeah.
Other therapists, do you have dreams about your therapy clients, and are they as weird and funny as mine?
Gabby, yes. If anything, weirder and more stressful and more strange. So listen, I could use, every one of you watching this video, I could use your help. Please, the link to Gabby is right there. Get us in touch. I've never met Gabby before, but many of you who follow me also follow her. And so let's make social media do what it's supposed to do. I would love to have Gabby on the Dream Show and we could talk more about these therapy clients that she has in her dreams. I think she would be very surprised to find that this is very normal and has some really deep personal meaning. So if you could take the link to this YouTube video and send it to Gabby through DMs on Instagram, I hope that we can get in touch and that we can talk more, because I'm loving everything that I'm seeing here so far. And I hope we can share more about the power of dreams for psychological healing in this space. So do your thing, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, bye.